Hi everyone, so I am back home in Ohio. As you may or may not be able to tell, it is fall. The trees are changing colors and it's really cold actually. I'm kind of chilly right now. It's about 50 degrees outside. When I left it felt like summer, and now that I'm back after 2 weeks of travel it feels like fall, which I love fall, so favorite time of the year, so I'm actually really excited. So been traveling for the past 2 weeks. I was at Nationals, as many of you or most of you probably know, and then I was in Florida, in Tampa, with Paul Ravella for his Team Pro Physique Camp, which was an awesome experience. I'll probably make a video recapping my trips a little bit and giving you guys some more details or whatever kind of comes to mind, and maybe some lessons learned and some things that I'm looking forward to doing in the future and my goals. But for now, actually, I wanted to focus on a topic for a video that I've been wanting to do for a little while, but actually came to the forefront of my mind after traveling and after taking a break from macros. I've had quite a few clients and people reach out to me and ask me, how do you travel? How do you maintain how do you maintain your weight? How do you maintain balance while you travel, but maybe don't track macros? And also, should you track macros when you travel? How strict should you be? Should you track macros your entire life? Should you track macros to the gram? So I'm going to touch on these subjects a little bit and give you kind of my perspective and what I believe. So I believe that tracking macros is a tool. I do not believe that it should be something that you do for the rest of your life. I mean, who wants to track every single gram for the rest of your life? But something that I would not have without tracking so macros are protein, carbs, and fats. I also track fiber. Automatically it's done. I track on My Macros with it, which is a tracking app that I use on my phone. So without tracking macros, I've been doing it for several years. I would have no understanding of what's contained in foods. I know that an apple is carbs. I know there's approximately 25 grams in 25 grams of carbs in an apple just by looking at it. I know that peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter is 8 grams of fat and 3 grams of protein and like 4 grams of carbs. Like, I know those things off the top of my head. I know a slice of bread, it's probably going to be about 20 grams of carbs. I know what is in foods. I know how much protein I need. I know what 3 ounces of turkey looks like. I know that I perform best on majority of carbs, pre-workout meal, carbs and protein, and then I leave fats for the rest of my meals. So without tracking macros, I would have no understanding of what is contained in food. So when people ask me, should I track macros? I say absolutely 100% yes. I think everyone should have a time in their life where they're at least relatively loosely tracking. Even if you're not a physique athlete, even if you're not looking to compete in a sport or want to, or have specific goals, let's say for body composition, you just want to be healthy, I would still recommend tracking your macros as a baseline, so you understand like how many calories do I need to maintain weight on. What's a general, you just learn your body. Each person is different. Without tracking your macros, I don't think that you can have a full understanding of what your body feels best on and what is best for long-term success. Now, that being said, for those who have physique sports as their main goal or who want a certain body composition, then absolutely you need to be more meticulous with your tracking. If you have a show coming up, if you have a meet, then yes, you should be more strict about tracking. But for me, I personally believe that every single person should take a break from macros at some point in their life. Counting macros can become another eating disorder. So actually this has been in my past. So I came from a place of binging. I've had anorexic tendencies in my past. I've had binging episodes in my past, and so coming from an eating disorder background, macros became obsessive for me at one point during my life. I've said I was flexible. I said I was reverse dieting, blah blah blah, but I was not flexible. I would not go out to eat. I actually talked about this in my Team Pro Physique Camp speech, which I actually really enjoyed. So I was able to speak on sort of my journey. Oh, and my dog. You'll hear him in the background. He might make an appearance. So I actually got to speak on this at Paul's Team Pro Physique Camp, which is something I really enjoyed. And why I want to start making videos more is because I really do enjoy speaking, enjoy talking and sharing information with you guys and my clients. A lot of my clients watch these videos, and also just people in the general population who might be interested in understanding kind of my journey or my perspective on certain things. So tracking macros has became sort of another eating disorder for me. So last year I was strictly tracking. I became obsessed with being lean. This was about a year and a half ago, I would say. And I said I was flexible. When I would go out to eat, I would not pick something from the menu. I would pick something from the menu, but it was steak, veggies, something very basic, very simple. And then I would go home and eat the rest of my macros with something that I knew was absolutely 100% within my macros. So I had no flexibility when I traveled. So the past couple weeks I actually did not track when I traveled. And you have to realize there has to be a balance between your life and your goals. You cannot be 100% tracking your macros for the rest of your life. It will become an obsessive behavior. You'll be carrying your food scale around with you. Do you really want to do that? Do you want to not be able to go out to eat and just have an understanding of what fuels your body and learn those things? Or do you want to always carry your scale with you? This past year, I have actually learned to take on a flexible dieting approach. Not just say I'm flexible dieting and counting macros. Actually, I was being very rigid with my tracking, which you have to be at certain points. If you are looking to do a show, if you're trying to lose weight, then absolutely, the more adherence you have with your macros, then the better results and the better understanding of what macros work for you, and what tweaks you might need to make. Yes, 100%. Like during contest prep, I don't mess around with my macros. Like I stick to whatever I need to do. I try to be within 5 grams per day of each macronutrient target. But there is something to be said for the off season. There is something to be said about reaching a healthy level of body fat. So for me, I was sub 10% body fat for over a year. It did end up having health consequences for me. Like my hair thinned, my skin was dry. I, had hormonal swings and issues with, some different womanly things. And I'm finally getting that health back. And a huge part of this has been flexible with my dieting. Realizing that it's okay to gain body fat. It's okay to be more flexible with my diet. I can go out to eat and still enjoy myself, and I'm not going to derail on my progress. I'm going to be able to enjoy my life, travel, not freak out about macros. When I travel now, I have no anxiety about macros. I know that I'm going to be able to eat, I'm going to be able to be healthy, and that's a thing that macronutrient tracking has taught me, is how to be accountable with my nutrition, and then also how to find balance when I'm traveling. So when I travel and I'm not tracking, something that I aim for is just listen to your body. Don't stuff yourself. Don't, say, oh, because it's vacation, I'm just going to go out and have a dozen donuts for breakfast. No, be mindful. You know what fuels your body. I know typically in a day, I eat 3 eggs when I wake up for breakfast and toast or whatever it may be. If I'm out to eat, I'm going to order like eggs. I might order like 2 pancakes and some bacon. It might be a little bit more than my normal macros, but it's still going to be relatively within the range. And you also want to have set meals. So for me, like I know I eat 4 meals per day. So I usually eat breakfast, pre-workout, post-workout, and then like a nighttime meal. So post-workout's typically dinner or something. So if I'm on vacation, then I might eat, or on a trip where I'm not tracking, I might eat breakfast. Pre-workout, I know pre-workout, I want quite a few carbs because that's what I tend to feel best on. Post-workout, I know that I need about the same amount of carbs and maybe a little bit more fat. And then at night, typically I eat more fat. So if I want to go out for ice cream, then I can do that at night. Like I just, make your breakfast a little bit lower carb or whatever, and still find that balance, but you don't need to be obsessive about tracking when you're on vacation. And also there is something to be also considered with tracking macros is, you need a mental break. You need to be able to enjoy your life. You can't be 100% perfect all the time. There's no such thing as perfection. So if you are constantly seeking perfection, you're going to drive yourself insane. And that's what I was doing last year. I was just constantly trying, or a year and a half ago, constantly trying to be perfect in order to maintain this, lower body fat and maintain this image of this lean powerlifter that I had in my idea of my head. And, it ended up tracking my macros, it ended up becoming another eating disorder. So if you find yourself getting anxiety over your macros, take a step back and look at the big picture. You want to be able to enjoy your life and sustain, and have macros be a baseline for you? Or do you want to have to bring your scale everywhere for the rest of it? Just having those general guidelines to follow while you're traveling, you know, eating until you're satisfied, fueling your body like you normally do. Like, you know how much food makes you feel good. You know that if you stuff yourself, that you're probably not going to feel the best, and it's going to be way over your macros. Like, it's just general things, general understandings that you get by tracking your macros for a period of time. So my dog is joining us now. Hi, Stanley. Hi, Stanley. Happy to be home. Yes, I am. So he will join the rest of this conversation. Here, Stanley. Okay. And his tail's in the way. So I think it's important to look at the big picture and be intuitive with your body. Learn what feels you best, and also how to be flexible in flexible dieting. It's not about being obsessive. It's not about hitting your numbers perfectly. Nothing's perfect. Even food labels are estimated or have, you know, a range of errors. It's not like everything's 100% perfect. So being flexible, learning to enjoy life and have something that's sustainable that you can maintain, and it can be a lifestyle instead of this obsessive behavior that can develop. So, of course, you know, I'm looking forward to getting back to eating my normal meals and tracking a little bit. I do have some, you know, goals that I want to hit for next year. So this off season, I'm going to be reverse dieting a little bit and making sure that I'm, you know, getting enough food and sustaining my training. But I definitely would recommend for those who have been tracking for a while, you know, try maybe take a couple day break and listen to your body and eat mindfully and see how it works out. You know, you want to practice these skills, and you don't need to take a week break from it, but take a couple day break, or talk to your coach about adding in untracked meals, that, you know, so that way you can practice these things and you can practice these skills. It's not like if you track macros and all of a sudden you'll be able to not track and you know, be totally fine. It's a process. It's step by step, and it certainly hasn't been overnight for me either. So yes, so I am back in town, looking forward to getting back to my normal routine. Gonna lift tonight actually with my dad. So hopefully next goal will be the Arnold. We'll see. Gonna talk to my coach, and yeah, so hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and I'm looking forward to making some more videos here in the future. I want to make a video on a squat tutorial. I also want to make a video on accessory work and incorporating that into a powerlifting program, sort of a power building program. So also, announcement coming soon, Australia, Ryan Doris and I are coming in December. So if y'all live in Sydney, stay tuned. We're going to be having a seminar. Those announcements should be coming within the next week, I hope. So trying to get it all together. So thanks guys, and I will talk to you soon. P.S. new De Novo shirts, I'm like obsessed. They're super soft and I didn't want to take it off. Even though it's a little chilly out here, I probably should have worn a jacket, but I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for watching.